A U.S. State Department official announced his decision to resign over the Biden administration's commitment to provide military aid to Israel following Hamas' deadly attack on Israel nearly 2 weeks ago. Until yesterday, Josh Paul was the Director of Congressional and Public Affairs for the State Department's Bureau of Military Affairs, where he helped create policies regarding sending military weapons to other countries. Speaking to ABC News Brad Mielke on Start Here, Paul said he believes Israel's heavy military intervention against Hamas, which has resulted in the deaths of thousands of civilians, is counterproductive to his security. He also said that unlike the decision-making process on arms sales in other cases, such as Saudi Arabia, there is no room for discussion on Israel. At the State Department press briefing, spokesman Matthew Miller said the department encouraged dissenting views and debate, but ultimately decision-makers within ministration disagreed with Paul's position in this case. Regarding this, we have made clear through this specific criticism published that we strongly support Israel's right to defend itself. He has made it very clear that we expect them to comply. We will continue to work with them to ensure they meet the highest standards. Brad Mielke First of all, why did you resign? Josh Paul, thank you for this question and thank you for having me. I resigned because I think that for the last 20 years we have had a policy regarding Israel and Palestine that has been built on 2 pillars. First of all, the 2-state solution is feasible. And secondly, the way to get there is to make Israel feel safe. But what we actually saw was that the way Israel constructed its own sense of security, which turned out to be a misconception, was to expand checkpoints and barriers in the West Bank while also supporting them. An undemocratic Palestinian Authority. Its exchanges with Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad have resulted in deaths of thousands of civilians over years in past week alone, making a 2-state solution nearly impossible. And for us to look at this situation and say, let's throw more munitions at this. Let's see if more solve the problem. That doesn't seem like the right way forward. MIELKE So did you actually like giving someone a letter? Or how does that happen? Paul yeah. Walked into my boss office, won't name them. Handed them a letter, actually had a very nice, honest conversation. They were very accepting of my point of view. President Joe Biden addresses nation about war in Israel and Ukraine in Oval Office of White House. On October 19, 2023, Andrew HarnikAP From Israel's perspective. We have heard this described as the 9/11 moment, the worst terrorist attack in its history. And if I lived 1,000 yards away from the people who crossed the border few weeks ago, beat my neighbors to death and took family member hostage, I wouldn't think it would be enough to love these men, contain them,